Welcome back to OpenLine. We are talking about the Affordable Care Act, the final 2 weeks for open enrollment. We have navigators here with us who can help answer your questions about what is most beneficial to you or your family as you decide about signing up and all of that. Roger is on the phone here. Let's go to Roger. Hello, Roger.
Hello, how are you?
Go ahead.
Thanks for taking my call. I'm trying to help a person that's in late 70s. He's literally homeless. He's on what he calls the red, white, and blue Medicare card, and he's trying to wonder about getting on either American Care Act or KinCare. Is there any advice as to where to start and what's the best recommendations to help him out?
Okay. What about that?
So the first thing you should know is that if you're eligible for Medicare, you are not eligible to get a plan through the marketplace. And that's really important because if you do have Medicare and a marketplace plan, you could end up paying back those premium tax credits that you got. So it's really important for him not to enroll in a marketplace plan, but there are TennCare through Medicaid. There are what's called Medicare savings programs, and they help to cover the costs of your Medicare, and it's through Medicaid. So if he's interested in that, I would recommend calling SHIP. Do you have the number?
So this is, it sounds to me like this is somebody who wants to help someone who's homeless and help them kind of navigate all of the stuff you got to navigate. You're saying there's a number. SHIP is with TennCare, right?
SHIP is the state health insurance program, and they help with Medicare. So they can help people who are looking to enroll in Medicare or looking to switch their Medicare or even looking to enroll in one of the Medicare savings programs.
All right, we can't find that.
We'll find the number.
We're going to put up some numbers at the very end, so we'll try and put that up, Roger. And I appreciate that question. I appreciate you trying to help somebody get signed up like that. Thank you for doing that.
I do have SHIP's number. I'll need to...
We'll get it out. Okay, we'll have it right after this next break. We'll put up that number and some other numbers. As far as people that have come to you in the last couple weeks, let's say, who kind of stands out? Who are some people that you feel like you know, stand out and maybe have benefited most from coming to you all?
So many. I love the young ones, like I said, the 20-year-olds that had to get off their parents' TennCare and couldn't figure out what they were going to do because they're students. So I love those that got that zero premium. That I was beaming that day. I love the ones that are not quite old enough for Medicare yet, but they're not, you know, they have a little income and they're just needing to get some insurance to last them till they are eligible for their Medicare. So they're not on their job and they have a little pension maybe, or so they don't have a job and have access to insurance there, but they need something because they're not on Medicare yet. So I love working with those, and I have worked with several of those this year. I love the couple from out of town that moved here, and they're living on rental income, and they were able, their rental income was enough for them to get a plan which worked for them because they cannot get a job right now because they're taking care of elderly parents that have medical needs in other states. So they couldn't really tie down the job yet in Nashville because they were back and forth with parents, but they had enough income that would get them some health insurance while they're dealing with those other family issues. So I work with so many different types of people that when they leave, I'm so glad. I work with the small business owner who they make good money and they don't even get a tax credit. So they're not getting help paying for it, but they're just so glad they have a plan that they can pay for, and they turn it into their tax account and however that small business, you know, works when you have your own business. And one of them had to have surgery last year. So he had a plan, self-employed, didn't get tax credit, made great money. He was okay with not getting tax credits. So I have so many stories, we'd be here all night.
And I think in Nashville, you probably get a lot of, I don't know if it's small business owners, but people who are self-employed. And they, what are some of the things that, say you're self-employed, what are some of the things you're going to have to do when they meet with you all? They're going to have to estimate their income, right? I guess, what are they going to have to do?
So that's the hardest part for a lot of people, is that you do have to estimate your income for next year. And that's really hard for people who own a small business or whose income fluctuates throughout the year. But it is really important for us to get as accurate as possible to your income for the next year, because that's what they base your tax credits on. So if you've had your small business for a couple of years and things are pretty steady, your income tax return from last year is usually a pretty good estimate. Or if not, then any income that you're getting in, but also those payments that you pay for your business. Just like when you do your taxes, they're going to be looking at what your income is on your 1040 form on your taxes. That's what they base your tax credits on. So
that is part of it. You just have to kind of guess and hope you're as close as possible.
And if there's something that fluctuates a lot and you think, oh, I'm having a way better year than I thought, you can go back into the application and update your income. So just because you put 80,000 in when you did the application, and then come June you had a banging year and you're already at 160, you go back in and you change that, because it does affect, tax. Well, you wouldn't get anybody probably with that amount of money, but you do have the opportunity to go back in and report a change in income.
And because this is still the law of the land, if you don't have insurance, you're going to be penalized, right? Where are the penalties? I know they started out lower and they're moving up. Where are they now?
So we're at $695, or 2.5% of your taxable income, whichever is the greater number. So a lot of times when you put that $695 out there, people just think, oh, it's just going to be $695. But if 2.5% of your taxable income is greater than that $695, that's the number you're going to pay. So, and I think it's half of that for kids. Three something for kids, but it's not $695 for kids.
Yeah, and if they're hearing, again, the premium's $700 a month and the penalty's $695, they're saying, well, I'll just take the penalty.
And they may, but you're also risking having a medical issue that will cost you hundreds of thousands to pay for, when you could have just paid the premium and had coverage for that. So, you want to get medically bankrupt because you didn't have insurance.
Another person here, Sherman Lee Kello. He says $19,720 for my family. He says I'll pass. $19,000. Now I don't know how big his family. We don't know details there, but does that?
Right.
Have you ever seen a premium $19,000?
I have not personally seen it, but we don't know what his household income is, whether or not he's offered coverage through his job. There's some variables that are left out. He may be looking at a bronze plan, or it's so many other things that it would behoove him to maybe talk to a navigator to see if that's accurate.
I think we're going to take a break. Is that right? Are we going to take a break? Let's take a break. We're going to come back and we're going to put up these numbers. So get your pen and pencil ready. We'll put up the numbers. Take a break. Be back right after this.